Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to create this surrealistic doll looking image from Portrait. So this is our original, and if you are a Patreon supporter you can download its source materials and just use it by yourself, or you can just follow step-by-step video. So we'll have this image. I explained the selection of the image, why we want to use this, and with all steps that we're going to do, we'll end up with this image of surrealistic kind of looking painting effect doll out of human. So let's go ahead and start working on this. Let's go ahead and begin by selecting image that we're going to use. Right here is multiple selections. I have it that can be we can preform this to create a doll look effect. But here's a few suggestions what I find out when you actually start creating. Technically you can do on any image, so it doesn't really matter, so you can do. But when image isolated, easy to remove head off, it's make much easier. So if we have it behind maybe more complicated pattern, then we need worried about that pattern as well. Next, also, if we have it anywhere close to the neck, more hair, then we need worried about some of that hair. So open neck, it's make us easier. Next things what I'm looking, if it looks straightforward. Look right here, it is actually looks straightforward. I can easy modify faster. It doesn't mean I can still work on the side ones like this. We can do doll head from this as well, but it will take little bit more work. So as a principles and showing how it's do, we'll go with the easiest setup. So straightforward, somewhat symmetrical look with less destructive background and open neck. Again, all additional components, they will make it a little bit more complex to work. We're in a camera, this is a bridge, Adobe Bridge, so I'm just double tap. Click to open this image inside the camera raw. Okay, in camera raw, let's look what we have. We take our highlights, and usually I bring them down because we will increase some of the slides, but I want to bring more information into Photoshop. We can bring a little bit our shadows up, so we almost flatten our image. And technically, if we're using techniques as a dodge and burn, then it's much easier to perform on a gray image. If you are familiar with the blending mode, soft light blending mode, 50% gray is invisible. And if we're going brighter, wider, it's make brighter or darker, so we can go both ways. In some case, what we're doing right here, we bring to this flat tone. So next, when we start using dodge and burn, we can add all of this additional shape to our image. Okay, next we're going to sharpen, and usually I'm sharpening anywhere between 60, 80, some like points. And reason because I think this image was shot on Canon 5D Mark III, which is have it internal anti-aliasing, so it just to restore some of this effect. And of course, I enable to remove chromatic abbreviation and use profile correction. As well, if you can click on the bottom right there, you can go in properties, and you can see I'm using 16-bit channel and I'm using Adobe RGB. Doesn't really matter what you're using, sRGB, Adobe RGB, or other ones, wherever you're familiar. This is just a color space I'm working from my cameras and so on. So for me, it's just easy to keep it in the same color space. We'll click OK here, and we'll go ahead and open this image inside it. One thing to keep in mind, we could done this a little bit with Smart Object and other things, but we're still using the destructive techniques, because anytime when we start using Liquify or other tools, we are affecting pixels locations on our image, so it's always will be destructive. But we will have it separate steps, so we're going forward. Right here we have our image, and one thing, if you look on some proportions, what I do sometimes, I'm reference to like a Barbie doll, which were unrealistic proportions, but it's very acceptable doll alike. And if we look on this face and preview, we want probably make a little bit smaller chin right here, smaller neck. So we will modify a couple elements in this case. And let's begin first with some tools like a liquify tool. So we'll apply to the face. And I'm going to create multiple layers. So this is first our layer that we're going to use for liquify. And I'm just in case creating secondary layer and so on. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll go to filters and we're going to use it liquify filter. Okay, this is very nice tool, and two things. Okay, we'll go closer to our face. What I want to do in this face, I want to actually make right here a little bit more into inside and adjust a couple other. Yeah, let's go ahead and first we'll start with eyes and other things. For this, we'll go just enable lock all our eye size. And remember, I told you if you're doing on a side, that position with eyes sometimes can be bad. And we'll see here, we'll have the same problem. And we will need in the future restore this roundness of the eyes itself. But for now, let's go increase our bigger size. We'll also increase height. And you notice how when I increase height, it's nice, but right here, we start stretching. So we'll need to fix that in the future. And just increased wide, almost everything. We'll just make a very big, huge eye. We don't care about tilt at this point. Eye distance, we don't want to spread too much, just probably a little bit out. Nose high, this is things for the dolls, usually it's teeny tiny nose. So we want to bring nose up and we want to reduce, make it shrinking. We'll do several times. Actually, I think we'll maybe do it twice, liquify tool, because we can apply again and again. Okay, next, let's go. We don't care about smile. Actually, let's make a little bit sadder look. We want puff up lips, make them a little bit bigger. And just a little bit wider. Mouth smaller, sorry. Not wide, but a little bit on a height. There you go. You can see just make a little bit bigger lips, smaller mouth kind of look. Forehead, we don't really, in this case, affecting. We can bring just a little bit down. It's help us with the eyes. Chin high, this we want to bring actually chin up and make smaller just like this. So you can see we're already modifying shape, create kind of unrealistic almost shape for the doll. And let's make it just a little bit wider so we can rework on a chin. So this is one effect we did. Next, actually, I want to rework on this chin. I want to cut some of this pushed in. To do this, first, let's go freeze using our freeze mask, because I'm going to affect this side. I don't want hair to be affected. So we'll go select our masking tool. And I'm just going right here. We don't, actually we can even cover partially ear. And I want to go very close, like around here. And we're going around neck on this side. So we don't, this is areas we don't want effect. So we're masking the elements that we say, okay, don't modify those elements, just only this. Okay, let's go now make bigger, and just in case, right here, there you go. So I mask the stuff behind. Now we'll go use it, a tool, and this is kind of interesting tool. So it's going from right side. So if I'm going from top to bottom, you'll see it's pushing everything to the right. If I go again this way, it's pushing this, but to pushing left, I need to go from bottom top. So it's pushing other ways. So you can see kind of interesting tool. And let me undo this stuff. This is what we're going to use. So right now, I'm just going right here and I'm using it just slightly to push in like this. And remember, this is a little bit harder because we need to push it carefully. Don't worry if it's stretching just a little bit on our hair. We'll go actually fix that hair afterwards. So right here I'm pushing and I'll try to create smooth, nice line. Okay, now on another side we'll do same things, actually wrong way. Remember, I need it from bottom top because it's pushing from the direction to the right. I'm going to do like this. Okay, I'm just right there. We can actually push just a little bit more right here. Okay, let's go ahead, preview a little bit. There you go. We have a little bit chin to push right there. So we'll go from this side and we'll just push slightly in right here. So let's go from this point. So we just slightly pushed in. Okay, zoom out, create a little bit on the chin adjustment. As I say, right here we stretch hair, but don't worry, we'll fix this with other tools. But I think that is look okay for now. So let's go ahead and click OK. Here is we have our weird face already. And let's go to duplicate. So I'm going to duplicate this just in case, because how I say it is destructive. But in case if I like my first, I'll keep it. And we'll go again, filter, liquify. And I want just add a little bit more to the eyes. So again, we'll go lock our two eyes. Let's go come closer. And we'll go same, we'll go pop up a little bit bigger eyes. A little bit wider. A little bit width. Eye distance, probably just around right here maybe. Nose high, let's bring nose up and make it smaller again. So almost doll, look at this. And of course we don't want to be very happy. Who want to be happy with this type of face? Pop up our lips, a little bit adjusting. Mostly what I need right now, it is chin height and kind of like this. So I know it's look very scary sometimes. Maybe we can create even alien that way. Okay, so when we're done with this, let's go actually before this, see if we can make creepier. Yeah, this is very creepy. So we don't want that. Let's go just like this. Go click OK. And here we have our face kind of looking somewhat creepy. Next, I want to take this and actually now we need increase in size. So we'll create another one. Actually, before this, let's do that. Let's just cut off from here directly. I'll take a lasso tool, zoom out, and I'll just go create very roughly, just like cut around here. Okay. Control C, Command C, Control Command V, copy paste. So if you notice right here, all what we have is just this head. So what we're going to use. We could also one thing, we want to enable our liquify, because with liquify our neck, so we want this neck be there. Okay, on this head we want increase in size. Because we'll go add layer on layer, we normally when I play with size, you want to convert to smart object because we may resize it. So we'll go to convert to smart object because I may create bigger, maybe smaller after resize it. So we'll find out which one work better. But because we're changing, maybe make smaller, and now if I do bigger, I will lose some pixels. So I don't want to do this. So the reason why I convert to smart object. So we'll create quite a bit bigger head. Now maybe one this big. Okay, let's zoom out and look. Whoa, look very creepy, but I like it. Okay, so we can create maybe too big head, you know what? Let's go to minimize a little bit. Or not minimize, alpha, so I can put it on. And usually I'm just looking where's the chin going. Control T, let's just a little bit smaller. Maybe around here. I think that one will look better. Okay, so next we're going to look on our chin. So I want to match my chin together. So like right there. Okay. And we can actually go put 100%. And let's go ahead, hold down Alt or Option and click on the mask so it's hiding from us. Now we can take our tool, white brush. Let's go with a 40%. And I want just paint for now in. Okay, so we can, some effect will paint a little bit less, but for now I want paint in. And oh, look how weird it's look. You can see how much, okay, you can see how much fun you can have with this, just to, you know, even this way applied stuff. Let's go even 70, so we'll do a little bit faster here. The one thing we want, very soft edges on the end, so it's easy to blend. Notice another tip was interesting, that as you're using, you want to actually use something like this gray background. You remember I told you are not very complex, so it's much easy to blend in. Okay, let's go 100% at this point. We add a little bit hair here. Okay, right there you can see the neck is going, and we'll just paint in a bit more. We can use it tool, the other Mark II, the path tool, and create this way, except I don't see a reason why we should. I'll just paint a little bit off. Okay, right there. Let's paint back slightly. Chin. And if you need a sharper edge, we can always just Control Z. We can use it. Oops, too sharp, but I want right there on the chin. I want to go very carefully. Right here. Like right there. Okay, let's go to switch back to our soft adjustments, and we'll just very close painting back. Oops, I don't want there, but I want right here. So we'll fix it, some of that stuff. Same like right here. See the neck going right there, so we don't need to get closer to this place, but we can paint around there. Okay, let's go zoom on, and here we have our skeleton looking face. Maybe, you know, maybe this one was a little bit too much, but again, it's what we're going for surrealistic, kind of very unusual look on our image. Also, I'm looking on the top, maybe it's too close, so let's go click our background, and we'll go select cropping tool, content aware, and I just want to bring this a little bit higher, maybe around there, like right there. Click OK, and it will take our bottom image and extend it. So what we just add this black color to the top. Sometimes you can see it does not necessarily did a job that I wanted here. So we can redo this again, or we can just fix it very easy by selecting healing brush over there, and we can just go very fast like this with healing brush. Okay, there you go. So at this point, and don't worry about that, we'll fix this one. But here we have it, our image so far. Okay, let's click on the head and see. Maybe I want to position a little bit left or right. I think this is about right. To a little bit lower, like right there. Okay. Again, if we look on eyes is totally wrong and bad, so we'll fix those eyes soon when we're done with general shape. So I created this one shape. Let's go now. Control Shift Alt E, Command Option Alt E. It's take everything and combine together. And we're going for the big shape right now. So in this case, we'll go to Edit, Transform, and we're going with a warp. So the warp is help us a little bit adjust. Actually, you know what? I don't think I need a head. So let me go ahead and delete this. Yeah, we want to hide this. We want to just take it, create new from this image. Okay, it's the wrong one. Control Shift Alt E right here. Okay, we'll enable head back so we can preview and select layer below, and going to Edit, Transform, Warp. So I just want effect only body, not the head. And you can see what I'm doing. I want to shrink those shoulders. I want to make even more unrealistically, kind of like a doll. Okay, and we can bring this end right here a little bit better on the sides. And you know what? Let's take bottom and actually expand. So we'll make dress look wider. Kind of like this, and we can bring down to make a little bit longer, looking skinny. But here's what we've done. We did these shoulders just a little bit more shrink in, I think, to create kind of small shoulders, a longer body, and a little bit more interesting on the bottom. We can also create a different shapes if we want it, but I think this way, yeah, let's bring a little bit like this. And adjusting. So here's we have it head, we adjust our body, and we can look before and after. You can see already how much we change in the shapes, what we're going to do. I think at this point we can start working a little bit more on a first pass of the dodge and burn. For this one, we'll go create new layer, fill it with 50% gray, switch to the soft light. We'll call it dodge and burn. And we're going to select our brush. This brush, I want to be sure it says 10% because I'm using mouse. If you use the Wacom, you can set how you like it. And I want to be sure it's a soft round brush. So now with the small soft light set, we can add just slightly darken the element. So we can bring chin, cheekbones a little bit more in. Just a little bit adjusting right here. Now think about it is, if it's a little dull, the lights portion a little bit going, so it's what we try to do, simulate some of those. But general, I'm just creating kind of a little bit more pop in right here, a little bit more on the chin. Okay, let's create on the nose light. Add just slightly on eyes. We will rework on eyes, so don't worry too much about eyes. We'll add a little bit more lights right here going. And so far we have, you can see, we kind of start adding. We'll probably going about maybe 2-3 times. Okay, I want this one, I want to reduce. And on our lips, we want add volume to the lips, so we'll go create darker and lighter. Okay, so far you can see we create a little bit more volume coming to our face. Let's go add volume to the head, and the volume will usually, it's what we have it with darker in one areas. Okay, and if we take and make just light right there, okay, oops, X, I need it darker here, and I'm using X key to jump between. And if you look on the head, you can see how it's from flat come up a little bit more roundish with the lights on the middle. So same things, we'll have the black selected. Let's a little bit add to the dress. Okay, and let's go come closer to the hands. And we'll just add a little bit, okay, lighter and darker. Okay, right here. Okay, let's go look on the hands. You can see just add a little bit more interesting. Okay, we can also add highlights to the dress. Go right there. There you go. Okay, so at this point, this is what we have. So next step, let's smooth a little bit skin, because we want to have it porcelain skin. For that, we'll combine all layers. It's visible layers. It's again Shift, Control Alt E, or Option Command Shift E on a Mac. And we'll go filters, noise, and we're going to dust and scratches. Okay, here's a value for the radius of the pixels. You just see when you can recognize shapes but you don't see small details. This is what you wanted. Sometimes can be bigger, sometimes smaller, but for this we'll just have 20. And hold down Alt or Option and click on a mask so it will hide, and we'll paint back in some of this. So let's go set opacity 20% for our brush, and we'll just start right there. The one thing why I say we'll use a dodge and burn, because these techniques will remove some of these highlights, and you can see it's moving, but we're losing this porcelain highlights what we had before. So we will come back with a little bit more dodge and burn to add them back in the places where we miss. But right now what I'm looking at is reduce some of this skin noise. So we'll still have it, we still see, but you kind of a little bit reduce. And I'm avoiding to touch lips and eyes, so I usually just touch on the skins, like around that areas, right here. And let's touch on the hands. So we'll just smooth them out. Okay, let's zoom out. And look, and you can see we have a nice smoother effect here. As we're doing this smoothing, let's go to increase, pop up to 30%, and just run a little bit on the background. So just remove some of the detailizations on the background, make it a little bit more painted look I like. So right there. Okay, there you go. Okay, next I want to work on the hair. And remember, I told you, like right here, we have some with a hair problem. So to fix, we need actually to do two steps. One, let's create new layer, and we'll call add hair. We want to clone some of those elements right there. Don't worry about cloning too accurate, because we'll go to fix this. We'll use a healing brush tool. I'll just select one similar, and I'm just going like this, cutting. You see what is happening? I want to break some of those lines. I want to create hair, but I don't want it. Okay, again, we can come even closer here. Maybe two, like right there, maybe. Yeah, I just want to remove some of those lines that look like not real lines, just left them there. And just add a little bit. There you go. So the next things when we're done with this, add hair. And again, if you have more hair, you maybe require more work, just add additional. But we're going to fix the next operation. So Control-Shift-Alt-E, Command-Option-Alt-E to create new. And we'll call this oil, because what we're going to do is using filter, stylize, oil painting. So for this oil painting, we want to use a 10 on cleanness, scale 1, brush 1. So we want to do it this way. Click OK. And next, it's not for me, don't have enough contrast. We'll go to filter, sharpening, and we'll go to use unsharp mask, and we'll pop up all the way to maybe 200, 190. So around there. Let's go click Alt on the mask, create black mask, and now we can use it brush with a 10% opacity to brush in hair. And you can see now it's almost like oil painting. And remember, I says we don't really need to worry about some of this element, because this is, you can see how it's add this hair stuff to us. It will help us with some of those blendings. And I'm just going through all hair, slowly touch up. Sometimes it's nice just add a little bit more of these lines to eyebrows. Just have some details here. Let's go to this hair. We'll add quite a bit here. And let's help us to add details in the hair. Even some our filters or other things does not look very good. That is will help us fix. You can see it's add nice point, and also it's work very good on a fur and feathers. So we'll do on the feathers as well. It will add this painting kind of cleaning effect almost. Right there. Let's go look closer, and you can see we have way more details. So it's look nice. Okay, at this point, there we have our image. Let's go next. So we have an oil, we add this. Let's go with one more dodge and burn, but now we'll go a little bit more to add some of those highlights and shadows a little bit teeny tiny. So we can create new. Let's go dodge and burn, fill up with 50% gray color, and blending mode set to the soft light. Let's go a little bit closer here. Okay, we'll go X, we'll use it the black color, and I just want to add a little bit more. And one thing, I want to use a smaller brush because I don't want to have a big large strokes, but I want to add some of those elements that we lost when we did our skin smoothing. So I want to kind of restore some of that. So we'll have a small brush here, go on a white, add a little bit more highlights here, some highlights, creating. Then let's go on the lips, add a little bit more highlights to the lips, and to the nose a little bit more. Okay, we add, and I'm using like X key to jump between black and white. Okay, I think that's look good. Okay, again, we'll add a little bit more X contrast here. Okay, let's go zoom out. We'll have a bigger brush, and I want at this point actually to add a little bit darker these corners. Just environmental a little bit set point on our doll. You know what, let's create a new one, and environmental dodge and burn we'll call this. fill up with 50% gray, same set to the soft light. Only at this point, white brush, okay, with the black. Okay, we can just go paint, add a little bit more around, okay, like right there. And let's go with white, just add like a spot almost right there around. Okay, not a sort of vignetting, more like a backdrop, but it is bringing a little bit attention more to the face, away from feet. So this is, it's what I want to kind of control, set a little bit more on the shoulders. Next, let's add detalization, and this is, we'll have a few steps we'll do. Again, we not yet even work on eyes, so this is just a general detalizations. Control Shift Alt E, again, create new one. Global details, we'll go to image, adjustment, black and white. Okay, and because we'll go use it soft light blending mode, I know the 50% gray invisible, lighter, lighter, darker, darker. So we'll go this way. We'll bring a little bit more color, white and yellow. Actually, black and white look quite interesting. So we'll go click OK. Now image, adjustments, go to shadow highlights. Be sure you see full menu by clicking on show more options. Go to amount 100% on both of them. We'll go just add 11 here, 11 there. And we'll just bring a little bit darker on the background and bring highlights up. It should brighten our face a little bit more. And I want also a filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. So I want to use it unsharp mask on this. It will add a little bit more details to us. So let's go ahead, switch to the soft light. It's make much darker for us. We don't necessarily need to do this, but what I want to look, it's, you can see how much details added. So this is what we actually going to use in some cases. Let's go take over this a little bit down and just bring slightly up, like maybe around 30%, somewhere around that area. That should bring nicely details. So eyes still have a problem. You know what? Let's go work on the eyes. For this, what we're going to do, we'll go from reference. Okay, let's select reference here, and we're going just a lasso, and we're going around one eye. Control C, Control V, same, select reference, going around other eye, CV, Control Copy, Control Paste. We'll take two of these and drag them all the way to the top. Okay, you can see it not necessarily matching, so I did it. Let's do it this way, so I can see the eyes actually. So we'll go select one, CV. Okay, let's go select next. Copy paste. Okay, so now we can kind of select. Let's go select the bottom one. Select these two eyes. Okay. Move them all the way to the top. And let's go re-enable back our layers. Okay, there you go. And you can see we have these two eyes. One thing I don't want to use them. I just want to use this middle part because they're actually round. So then we'll take one eye, just placed like right there. Second one placed around here. Let's go to closer, and we'll go to set opacity a little bit low so I can see cornea. We can also do other ways. We can actually switch these to difference. Okay. And with the difference, we can rescale, Control T, and you can see when it's matching cornea, when it's kind of will start locking in, so they almost will disappear. So like right there, and you can see the eye right there, and overlay, we still have it a little bit too small, so we'll bring back up, and let's overlay somewhere like around here. This one disappear. Okay, this is one way. We always can go back. Just to, if you feel more familiar with normal, you can go normal, just decrease opacity. So in this case, you can see where his eye kind of overlaying, same size. This is what I wanted, because this will be natural round what was on a camera with position, and other ones we already modified, so we want bring back this eye. The other options we can generate in 3D and overlay, but let's work from what we have it right now. So this other eye, same, we can take opacity, bring a little bit down to this way, Control T. You can use differences or however you like it, and we'll put it right there. And remember, if you put it bigger, be sure it's just kind of matching. Okay, like right there. Press enter again, and here we have it our to eye. Okay, eye right, and I think this is eye left. Okay, next we actually don't want them, we want bring in just middle part. So we'll go Alt or Option and click on a mask, it's hiding, and we'll start bring soft brush. We'll start by painting in right there our eye. Notice I'm very close to this, and of course as we're painting, that should restore a little bit of our round effect on the eye. You can see it is the skew what was before we're replacing. Let's go actually with 30. So we'll paint this one. And actually Photoshop did not do so bad job on this. On the eye. Okay, let me look on the, yep, right here, our mask. But it is a little bit was skewing over. Sometimes it could be even worse. So we'll go to this one. Let's go right here, same. And we'll adjust. Well, I think this is a little bit smaller, so we'll need maybe increase size. But this is more accurate, so we actually does not change any skew or any others. Okay, so if we look on the eyes, you can see it's a little bit, I think right here need a little bit more, so Control T. And this is the reason why it says sometimes I like make a smart object, because scale up is not as a big deal as when you up, and after we need scale down and up again, then we're losing some information. But overall, so here we added things we need to add now a little bit more work on the eyes, definitely. So let's go ahead, combine them together in a group. We call it eyes, and we need to add sharpness to them, and we need to add some additional, like a little bit more volume, I think, overall. So let's go create a new layer, dodge and burn. Go soft light. Let's go this eyes call. Okay, and we'll take our brush. And overall, what's happening here, remember the whites a little bit closer. 300 was a little bit too much. And we can use it darker to darker a little bit on the sides. So it's almost will create this effect of the eyes, and we need to be careful. So I'm adding on one side. I can do a little bit smaller, add those blurs right here, highlights, a little bit add. So all what I want to do with this, it's creating this little bit like a ball kind of effect, because when we look out, this is what we'll start bringing in. Okay, next let's go to add a little bit sharpness to things. Usually what I like to do, and technically in Photoshop, it is easier to take sharp object and go to the blur, but it's very hard to, sometimes almost impossible to recreate from blur to the sharpness. So we need to replace it. Many times if I do this, I have a collection of high resolution eyes. I know it sounds funny, but, and we'll overlay those eyes over this so they have it. But right now I want just to use it what we have it, so that's what we're going to use. The other things we're going to use to restore eyes, it's curves. And on a curves, we're going to actually take bring these two up like this. So it's very high curve, and we'll switch this curve to overlay. So I'm only look on eyes right now, okay? We'll Control Command I to inverse, and we'll use it white brush 10% to bring some of this back on our eyes. This will actually bring quite a bit more detailization. You can see because it's added this contrast to those ones. Let's do a little bit on our lips, just slightly. Okay, and a little bit touch up in the hair. This is dark hair, but if we have it white hair or like orange, will bring quite a bit interesting to our eyes. So okay, you can see the eyes now is way better. Yes, they kind of come up. Let's go next. Create Command Control Shift Alt E, Option forever, everything, and we'll go to sharpness. And this will be selective sharpness, but we won't use necessary selective. We'll just use it masking tool for this. So I'm going to filter, sharpen, unsharp mask, and we'll just go a little bit crazily bit on this, maybe around there, kind of like this. Click OK. And again, Alt or Option and click Mask, so it's hiding. Now we're going to paint in some of those sharpness with white brush. And I just want to add a little bit more sharpness around eyes because I want them very eyes. A little bit on the lips. Okay, maybe just touch on the hair. And I want to actually add to the buttons. I want them come up sharp, kind of like details if you look sometimes. Okay, maybe a little bit sharpness here. Okay, let's sharpen buttons, and you can see they do remove blurriness, and will create illusion of also of all image sharper, kind of in a focus. Okay, let's go right here. Add a little bit more sharpness to elements. Okay, sharpness around this emblem. Okay, let's go again before and after. You can see it just add a little bit of sharpness there, and we'll add here. I still have some line going right there, so we need to rework a little bit, fix this line I think on the top. Okay, so right here we have our image, and yeah, right there this line. So let's create Control Shift Alt E, new image, background. Go select healing brush. We select around this area, and I just want just a little bit touch up right there. Kind of smooth out. You can see a little bit this stuff. And what I did it, if you notice, it is not aligned. So if I click and release, so it does for me, it's kind of releasing. It takes sampling from some area, but it just helped me create this a little bit nicer round effect. Okay, let's come closer. Okay, let's look okay. Eyes, how I say, still not necessarily sure if I like it. We could even create a little bit more sharper on the eyes. So let's do have a little bit trick to add to that. We'll go create new layer. Okay, I am going to select Eclipse Marquee tool. We'll go click and create a round, just around this effect. Let's fill up with any color, doesn't matter at this point, but we need to go filter, render, clouds. So, and now filter, render, difference clouds. Now you can press Control Command F several times. Oops, actually no. Filter, Alt Control F. So we'll Control F several times till we kind of creating this multiple. It's kind of going over and over, but overall it will create those lines for us like this. And next we can go to filter, blur, and we can have it radial blur. We'll want to have it zoom, just a little bit inside. Best, because we selected, it will go from the center. Click OK, and you can see it's kind of selecting. So maybe we need a little bit more of the kind of like this. Okay, and let's go convert this to, and we can see we have it soft, overlay, lighten. In many cases, actually, difference may work, but let's go with a soft light. Okay, we'll go also filter, sharpen, unsharp mask, bring all away. So we'll just add a little bit more details to this eye. And now when it's eye overlay, I know it's look a little bit ugly, but if you stay here, we'll see what's going on. So we'll create this and we'll hide, create Alt again, mask. Now we can take our brush, 10%, and we can just slightly paint in, a little bit in from center. So this is will create those little bit more details add to our eye, details that we lost. And you can create a different type. So right here, one. Okay, let's duplicate it, and we'll take this and move to, and you can see we just added a little bit right there, effect, like, okay, right here we add a little bit of those. So again, if it's too strong, we can just reduce here, and same, reduce a little bit on another eye. Around there, but it is add a little bit more to our eyes, so they look a little bit more interesting. Okay, the one thing I noticed, our hands, oops. Okay, our hands and face have a different color. This is a little bit more kind of brownish yellows. This is pink, so we have it a little bit different. I think it's a makeup or some other stuff. So we want even them out a little bit. I do like a little bit this coloring, so we can go and create adjustment, and let's create a curve. We'll switch this curve to the color, and we'll go to blue, and let's go bring to yellowish a little bit. I'm ignoring face, just look on our hands, and I think yellowish like this, that should work. Okay, Control I to inverse. We'll go into the hands now, select the brush, and we'll go painting in this color correction we just did it. So it will add, because I think it was a little bit more magenta color, and another one's a little bit more greenish kind of coloring, so it will should a little bit give it us similar tone, so we will be right there. Okay, let's go look before and after. I know it's just slightly, and on the hands, before and after, maybe a little bit more on the hands. Let me check it right there. So let's go, but we'll also apply other effect, and it will be better. So okay, right here, let's go red. We can see, woo, very red. We can go a little bit cyanish, dead pale cyanish, so it's not we need it. We need to go with this color, a little bit more yellowish, kind of like this. Yep, there you go. Okay, so we adjust this color. Let's go next. We'll go create black and white. And on this black and white, I just want to bring a couple things. We'll have it red, a little bit better. And we'll take yellowish a little bit down, blue up. Let's pop up those all colors up, and we have it also this on a dress. So now we'll take reduce, and you can see we can bring a little bit more kind of like palish color. I don't know if you like a little bit more darker, we can use this way, but what I'm going to do, I want to bring a little bit up like this, and Control I, again inverse, and now I want to add to the face. So I think face was a little bit too saturated for me, so I'm just going only on a skin reduce on the face a little bit. I will leave it eyes, definitely. We maybe need to even bring more color to the eyes. Okay, we'll go right there. Okay, and just a little bit more pale. Okay, right here, and definitely we need on our hands. Okay, let's zoom out. Before and after, we can also just pop up all the way so you can see a little bit easier where we applied. Okay, we can even go more over, like right there. You know, you can create a very nice vampire out of this for the Halloween kind of pictures. Okay, we all need to make it darker. Okay, like right there, and same on the hands. Okay, let's go zoom out. And we don't just bring back slightly some of the coloring. I think right there it's look about right. Again, this is all artistic. It's whatever come in your mind, you can create it. Next, I think, you know what, let's do one more global dodge and burn as well. So we'll fill up with 50% gray. We go to soft light, take a brush. Okay, we'll go to 10% on a brush opacity, and I just want a little bit add right here. Just a little bit kind of like around, a little bit more. There you go. Okay, and let's go a few last touches. One, we want to go to selective color, and in selective color, actually, you know, before selective color, let me hide, let me create one new layer, and I'll do 50% gray, and we're going to filters, noise, add noise. We're going to add a noise to this, and the reason is why I'm adding noise. We'll go soft light, because if we look, I smooth some skin, but it was different type of noise between all of them, and that will stand out. So the introducing noise back a little bit, it will help to hide some of those retouching was done. So it will kind of give it a grain similarity through all image, which is make a little bit better blending on all details. Okay, let's go back to our selective colors. We'll select our black. In a black will pop up just slightly, about 6, and we'll go to the colder colors on a black like this. Okay, now we'll go to our neutrals, and neutrals, you know, let's just take maybe a little bit up, and we'll go to warmer opposite on this. So we'll go to kind of a little bit warmer, a little bit colors. So we'll playing on this dark, cold, warm, whatever colors. Also, I want to select the red color, this one red, and we'll just go, instead bright, we'll go a little bit more deeper, darker, and we'll add as well kind of more reddishy, so it's pop up. Okay, if it's too much, remember we have it our black and white for the skin, so you always can kind of modify a little bit better on the skin if you think, because if we have the original, we have a little bit too much. By adding a little bit more black and white, we can kind of control, don't get too much on this. There you go. So we have it our selective color. Again, if it's too much white, we can bring down on 2 of this neutral, and other ones we can bring a little bit to the darker area. And on the highlights, actually on the whites, and whites will be right there. You can see where they're going. We can leave 0, but we want to bring them same a little bit to the warmer area, those highlights, just a little bit. Okay, so right here we have our image kind of done one. Let's do one more. It is will be curve. Okay, and a curve will go to color mode. We'll select blue channel. We'll bring this down and blue up. Same we'll do with the red. We'll just bring cyan on the bottom a little bit up and restore all the way red. So this will give it us a little bit of retro look, kind of on the coloring. Bring it down and just maybe slightly a little bit up. Controlling, so 2 ways to control our color. So color there, color 2 on the colors, and let's go just select under them. Okay, this is noise. Okay, and just above the noise, let's go create new curve. And we'll just take this end of the curve, drop all the way down, so you should be see this black. Select the rectangle marquee tool. From the corner, go select all the way down. And we'll fill up with the black color on the middle. So we should see this border. Now in the curves, masks, we're selecting, we'll go to feathering and bring till it's kind of give it this nice vignetting look. So you can see right here. Okay, let's go that, switch to the soft light mode. It will provide just a little bit nicer blending together, but there we have a nice vignetting applied to our image. And I think we're missing only one more thing. It is putting in your name. So I'll just put right here on the middle, right around there. Okay, and we're going to set opacity. Usually I put it quite a bit, you can see, but it's just a little bit, so it does not take attention from all image. And let's take all of these images, combine together. We'll call it retouching. And right here, this is what we have, the original image. And here's what we did it. So you can see we just created doll out of human. I know it sounds creepy, but we take one image and we created something a little bit more surrealistic looking. And I hope you find this video very interesting. And if you like it, please give it thumbs up. It will help to promote my video if you like this way. And also you can always join me on Patreon to support my work and download a lot of background textures and a lot of goodies. I have tons of the presets so you can use for your photography or 3D art. Again, thank you for watching this video and have fun time.